Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to the Art of Storytelling, baby. This is our fourth guest. This is our fourth guest this week for our Art of Storytelling. So my man Posse's blessing us today. So again, this is our opportunity to have members from our community come in and share their stories of choices that they made that eventually made them. My man Paz, I don't know if you can see, but he got a few grays in his beard like myself, so he's been around quite a few. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over and let my man Paz take it over.
Peace, peace, peace. What's up, good brother, man? Thank you for having me, brother.
Right on, right on. Thank you for coming, bro.
Yes, sir, man. I'm not sure how we flowing right here. Is it kind of question and answer format, or we just kind of flowing through? What's the format?
The format right now is you tell your story. You know what I mean? And the questions that arise on our end, we're gonna ask as much as when you doing your story. So
okay.
if you'll see people's they might raise their hand. Tank, if you can for me, do an example. Just be mindful. If you see somebody raise their hand like that, that means they got a question.
Okay.
So if you can just pause what you're saying, or if you can try to kind of, complete that point. So we can get the question. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's on you, bro.
Okay. Man, where do I begin? We all got a story first and foremost, right? We all got a story. We all kind of come from similar backgrounds and things like that. And I think probably the difference is the choices that we make, right? You know what I'm saying? Obviously our upbringing and all that definitely affects that too, but the choices that we ultimately make, because we could be around stuff and make different decisions than other people, right? You know what I mean? And we know what that outcome can be. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I know myself, I've lost family members and things like that to violence. I'm pretty sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, others have as well too, so we all know that story. But I come originally from South Carolina. I've been out here in Colorado, man, for about almost 20 years, man, since I've been out here in the Mile High City. You know what I'm saying? And growing up, I would say that I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to be, cool or whatever. When I was younger, I'll go into some stuff, and I'm probably gonna share some stuff that I probably haven't really ever shared with anybody in that sense. Just on some real like personal type stuff. You know what I'm saying, in terms of my story and being real. You know what I'm saying. I grew up, with my I got 6 brothers all together, but I got two by my mother and 4 by my father. And so I grew up with my stepfather, and basically it was like I was living with a terrorist, you know what I'm saying? Because him and my mother was, at it all the time. Like, words, physical, you name it, you know what I mean? Even like him and I, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, all the way up until I was like in 6th grade, like even him and I, to the point of being physical, to the point of pulling knives on each other, to the point this dude, telling me to when I was young, telling me to put an apple in my head, and while he aimed the gun at it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And it was like, that was just what it was, man, until like, 7th grade. So it was like I was just kind of had a lot of bottled up, you know what I'm saying, emotions and things like that. And I just kind of, it just more or less kept me to myself. I still was around, still did my stuff, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff, but just kind of kept me emotionally tight, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And it took, those things had me really not really believing in myself. Like I said, to a point where I was more so looking to others for leadership, you know what I'm saying? Or trying to fit in and follow what everybody else was doing and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And, fortunately, I would say that I got into music. I did get into music, and man, I think everything, man, that allowed that, because I think that it put me on a trajectory to where, hip hop at the time was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it still is, but you know what I'm saying, especially at that time and being in it, and participating and rapping or whatever the case may be, making beats, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I mean, that was a big deal. You was like a star, even if you just did it, right? You didn't even have to be you didn't have to be nobody. Just the fact of doing it, you was the man. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I got involved with some cats. You know what I'm saying? That's still doing it to this day, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to them, man, for real, because they like raised me in that. And you know, from that, but still, I was still trying to find myself still, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Throughout all this was high school, getting into high school and stuff like that. Like I was still trying to find myself. And then, you know what I'm saying, upon graduating high school, I just went. I basically got kicked out of high school right after graduation, like 2 days after graduation. Because I didn't come home for like 2 days, or I was out, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing for like 2 days straight. Mom, like, all right, you think you grown, you gotta get out. Man, I was out, man, like 2 days after graduation. You know what I mean?
And that was in South Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was there? Was there any gang violence? Was there any kind of youth violence? Was there anything? How did you avoid that if you did?
I mean, the music, bro, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was going on, you know what I'm saying? It was going on around me, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had cousins that was involved, you know what I'm saying, with gang stuff. One of them, like I said, that is got murdered back in 2009. You know what I'm saying? He got shot in his head and whatnot. And so, you know, I was definitely around it, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, we make different decisions, right? We could be in the same place, same situation, and we make different decisions, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I did my little stuff, but I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, I definitely wasn't, I'm not gonna say like I was a violent type, like I was just out there doing whatever, but if I could make some money or I could do whatever, you know what I'm saying, I definitely was with that, you know what I mean. But I did have a love for the music. That was really like something that kind of had a real focus, because, you know what I'm saying, it made me feel like I was somebody, you know what I'm saying, and I could do something, you know, with my life, and you know what I'm saying, because, you know, for us as young men, and I know Phil, you probably can attest to this. I'm not sure how old everybody else is, but not to tell your age, Phil, but but you know, when you're young, you know what I'm saying, coming up, it was like this idea was implanted in your head that you wasn't going to live past 25, and if you did make past 25, pretty much, you know what I'm saying, like you was lucky. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you fighting that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I might not be here at 25. Like, and I think that's a part of our issue as Black men, because that mentality get implanted in us, and we start living like we're gonna die before we're 25. So we living to die. You know what I'm saying? And then we get past 25 and it be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? There's real life out here. So, you know, just going through all that, and then I said, just trying to figure it out. I ended up going to a move like about an hour away to a city called Columbia, South Carolina Metro, where my cousin was staying at and all that. Stayed with some family, was trying to work and still doing the music, things like that. Eventually ended up going up to Virginia for a minute, stayed with some family up there for a little bit. Ended up staying in a homeless shelter. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget this joint, man. We got served 16 bean soup. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call it, 16 bean soup, man. That's what we used to get, you know what I'm saying, on the regular, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It was what it was, you know what I mean? And but, you know, just striving to do the music, striving to, you know, do stuff. Came back to South Carolina, then went to Atlanta, ended up being homeless and stuff down there, but we were still pursuing music. And then while we was down there, we actually got the opportunity to get some CDs made. And this was back in 98. You feel me? And we was able to get like 3,500 CDs or something like that for like $500. You know what I'm saying? And so we was going in on them, you know what I'm saying? We was selling joint. Me and my man, we ended up getting back to South Carolina. That's like how we got back home, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to put my other people's like on it, because it was like a group of us, right? Or groups of us. It was like 7 different groups of us that was like affiliated. Basically, we was all really pretty much cool. Because we was basically the MCs, the kind of like the main MCs in the town, if you will. So we was all really cool, you know what I'm saying, connected like that. And you know, so we bring it back, trying to get them on it, but we was basically bullshit, man. Excuse my language, but we was buying hotels and just hanging out, doing all type of stuff, man, with the money. We ain't do what we were supposed to do at the end of the day. And so, what I'm saying, that whole thing passed, man. And I would say that probably one of the biggest influences on my life, because I kind of throughout all this time, I had the opportunity to be around brothers that had knowledge too, if you will, or certain brothers were Muslims. So I was reading certain, stuff from Elijah Muhammad. I was reading some Naeem Akbar. I was reading certain stuff. Then some of my folks was Rasta. So I was picking certain things up. And then during that time after Atlanta, we were selling CDs, ended up meeting this cat, my brother Solar. I don't know if you know him, Phil. Yeah, he been out here too. But in any case, come to find out, he was actually my cousin. You know what I'm saying? Bro, came from New York. Never met him a day in my life. We get to, rapping and chatting and all that shit, talking good stuff. Come to find out, like, we was related and shit. Like, wow, this is crazy. And so anyway, he introduced me to the 5%. You know what I'm saying? Nation of Gods and Earth. So, they like, if you're familiar with that, that's like, they like they came through the Nation of Islam, kind of like birthed through the Nation of Islam under Clarence 13th X, the father of Allah, who studied under Malcolm X, right? And so, in any case, that was just like a, huge. That was like a real huge philosophical shift, in my way of thinking in terms of just knowledge of self and learning about self, respecting myself as a Black man, the Black woman, the family, and really just learning that and seeing it too, because I actually went up to New York. I ended up going up to New York and staying for like a little over a year. You know what I'm saying? And we was studying. We was going to they have what's called a law school in Mecca, which is in which is in Manhattan on 7th and Lenox or whatever. But in any case, and I'm sorry, that might be the exact address, but in any case, we would go up there all the time. They would have parliaments every last Sunday in the month, and all that good stuff. So I was like immersed, in it. And really still, like I said, still finding myself. I ain't really had nothing. So it was just like, that's just what it was. You know what I mean? Fast forward, just still kind of going through the motions and figuring out life, at that age, 20, 21, 22, 23, all that kind of stuff. And just kind of figuring out life. And one dope thing that a lot of people don't really know, and I'll probably share a little bit, but like during that time, after I went to New York and I left and I came back down South Carolina, and I actually ended up going back up because we ended up connecting with Wu-Tang. And so when I was up there, I just started drawing. I don't know, my artistic side started coming out, I guess, or something or whatever. And I just had this crazy idea of making, drawing some shoes and apparel and stuff. And I just took the Wu symbol and I was just drawing up all type of stuff or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And one day we ended up walking to High 97. So, Ed Lover, Angie Martinez, all that stuff, Red Alert, DJ Red Alert, all that, like where they do their thing at, whatnot. So we went down there. We was like, we going down there and whatnot. And we actually seen DJ Red Alert. We talked to him, we was chopping up with him for a second. And then we seen Shaheem, which is another Wu-Tang affiliate or whatever. And he was like, yo, well, we showed him the shit. I showed him the shit like, yo, man, I got these drugs trying to, do the thing. And he was like, word. He gave us the address to go to the Wu building. Was like, yo, go down there. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up going down there. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up, walking into the office. We seen enough some other artists that Killer Army artists or whatever that they seen. And it was like, yo, man, getting these dudes behind basically how they was on it. They was like on some, like, I don't know what was going on, but they was like, yo, whatever y'all here for, because, we were still young. We had towels and stuff all on our head and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We was on our young boy stuff, but, we was about the business. And we seen some of them was in there. A couple of them was in there getting massages. Like Ugal was in there getting massage. We seen Master Killer, expected that, couple of folks or whatever. And seeing RZA went back in the office. Got the chance to chop it up with RZA. We were just sitting back there, you know what I'm saying? Just got to chop it up, all that good shit. So that was like just really a dope experience, you know what I'm saying? To say that, we get the Wu-Tang. And I I'm part. I know I'm kind of going into my memory, so part of me. I'm gonna share with y'all another quick Wu-Tang. I'm trying to make a quick Wu-Tang story, and this one is actually, we was about to with Wu-Tang. We was about to get into a beef with Rough Riders, bro. Oh, it's some real stuff. Y'all know who Drag On is, right? Remember Drag On? Used to be with DMX. But in any case, he you know what I'm saying? And the only reason it didn't go down because my bro knew Drag On. That's the only reason why it didn't go down. So in any case, it was after that happened, I had Riz's number. He had gave me his number. Like I was calling him like every now and again. I would call him like, yo, we trying to do our thing. Like we want to come up with whatever. And he ended up telling us to come back up there one time. Me and my bro went up there. Me and my brother went up there, whatever. And we seen this other cat. His name, I don't want to say his name in any case because altercation had went down. And somebody got knocked out. And you know what I'm saying? And so we end up coming out of space, and we see the Rough Riders promo team or whatever and Drag On in them, and they basically kind of putting up their flyers and all that type of stuff. And pretty much, you know what I'm saying, we coming out and they see us and they like, man, F these Wu-Tang dudes. We like, oh, like, what you mean F these Wu-Tang dudes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we with them, but that ain't us, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got nothing to do with that, you know what I mean? But in any case, I mean, dudes, like, they was like really trying to take it there. My man had to step in, like, yo, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? I know Drag or whatever, y'all, we know each other stuff. So, you know what I mean? Just a quick little hip hop reference, Wu-Tang, all that good stuff. But in any case, so all that to say, it was just dope to experience that, see that, go through all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? We never really, obviously nothing really materialized per se in that sense, but just still pursuing the music and all that for years. Eventually came down and I met my wife at the time, my older children's mother, and she actually had lived out here when she was younger. And her mother had still lived out here. And she was like, yo, you want to go to, move to Colorado? I hadn't been up and down, the East Coast. I hadn't been to New York. I hadn't been living in Virginia, and living in Atlanta, North Carolina. I've been up and down the East Coast because, I just wanted to be out, especially once I got the chance to get out. I was like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out. You know what I mean? And so she's like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, all right, man, let's go. You know what I mean? And pretty much never looked back, you know what I mean, since then, bro. And that was like 2000. Matter of fact, I came out here in 2000 and I was out here for some months, and then we left because she was pregnant. But she left and we left and had my daughter and stayed out there for a couple months and then came back. And so I've basically been out here pretty much, like I said, since like 2000. And so, through all of that and the experiences and just kind of seeing everything, because ultimately, we all have those times where we think we know it all and we got it all figured out. You know what I'm saying? And then life be like, well, no, you don't, player. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very much similar to this situation, right? That we're dealing with now with this whole coronavirus thing and all that. But, I was married, like I said, I had we had 4 kids together, but my older wife, I got a 24-year-old. I got my daughter just turned 19. I got a son that's about to be 18 this summer. I got a 14-year-old, and I got a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, just turned 3. But I had those 4, and then we were doing our thing, man, out here. And like I said, I was still at the same time trying to figure myself out. You know what I'm saying? I think as men, we don't really always get that opportunity to figure ourselves out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we just expected to know it all at all times. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not really allowed to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? If we make a mistake or we do something or we don't really have the knowledge or experience at something, it's almost like it's held against us or something, or you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's also being honest with yourself too, right? About the things that you do need to grow on, or where you make your mistakes at, or whatever the case may be. Because like I said, I have my children with my ex-wife, but she's my ex-wife. So that I failed at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I failed. Not to say I failed, but you know what I'm saying? I definitely could have, and I could have been better, a better person. You know what I'm saying, with that relationship, and it really forced me to grow, because I had the house. You know what I'm saying? We had good jobs. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's the job thing was never really the thing that I really wanted to do. It was always a means to an end. But you know what I'm saying? We had it. You know what I'm saying? We had a job. We had a nice house. Man, I had almost a 4,000 square foot house, bro. And I was paying like $1,200 for that joint back in the day. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We had the cars. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a good life. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, temptation gets the best of us. You know what I'm saying? Being young and immature. And I love my guy Nipsey, man, because even Nipsey was like, man, players mess up too. You know, players mess up too, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think, but you know, at the end of the day, I lost. You know what I'm saying? I lost my family. You feel what I'm saying? I lost my family. I lost my children. And she ended up moving back to South Carolina like a year after we split with my children. So that was like a whole nother thing, because it was like, damn, I ain't never expect to not have my kids around me, you know what I'm saying? And trying to father them from a distance. Like that was never in my plans. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up having another daughter after like that year after that. And she ended up moving away a year or so afterwards herself too. You know what I mean? So I'm in this situation, and yeah, it's like I may have felt like, oh, I'm the man, but both of my families are gone. You know what I'm saying? At that point, at least. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it's the introspection, you know, and you start thinking like, what's the why, man? What's up? Where are you going with your life? What is it that you really want out of your life? Like, what are you really trying to accomplish? What do you really want to do? You know what I'm saying? Because I think we see, you know what I'm saying, the videos, we see the, you know what I'm saying, and stuff we see on TV, we hear other people talk about stuff, and we think that's just how it is, like all the time, like they just living like that every day, all day, you know what I'm saying, 24/7, like, you know what I mean? And we aren't able to see the real life behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's real life, there's real stuff that everybody's going through. And so
Pause. I saw my man Day had a little question.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So when you lost your kids, did that make you like stronger, like going through in life?
Oh man, absolutely, man. That's my motivation still to this day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's everything. You know what I'm saying? That's everything to me in terms of the reason why I push so hard. You know what I mean? Because they important to me, right? I love them. It's something, to be honest with you, that because it's been 9 years now, I think, since they moved, and I'm still dealing with that, bro. Because at the end of the day, when they moved, my son, my next oldest son and daughter, my middle son and daughter, that's 17 and 18, or excuse me, 18, about to be 18 and 19, they were still damn below my shoulder, you know what I'm saying? They was young, you know what I'm saying? I remember I went home one time and they was like this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like what the, overnight almost, you know what I'm saying? And you don't get that time back. And as a parent, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure, Phil, you understand, as a parent, like, you know, them years go by fast, bro. It seemed like it, you know, you got forever, but that time, once that time gone, it's gone. Especially as a parent, like that time is gone. Like they become adults and then they off doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that opportunity to be, you know, the parent really that you want to be. At least at that stage, like you should obviously, you know, they still older, whatever, you still got that relationship. But just in terms of what we think of when we think about our young children and, you know, hugging them and telling them to go to bed and making sure they got their food and buying them clothes and, you know, all of the stuff that you do as a parent that, you know, it may seem like a headache to somewhat of an extent, but you really enjoy it. Because I promise somebody take it away from you, you're really going to be like, man, what the hell, man? And so yeah, it did. It made me mad strong, man. I had to be strong. I had to, because one of the things that I promised myself was like, all right, because that's, South Carolina is 1,600 miles away. So it ain't like I'm driving there today and I'm coming back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's a 27, 28-hour drive. I done did it many times. But it was like, all right, I got to make sure I get out there 3-4 times a year at minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to do that. No matter what's going on, I got to be out there 3-4 times a year. That was one thing I got to make sure I promise myself. So whatever that means, I got to work my ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do it. And it just changed everything in terms of how I do it. And it still affects how I do things, because everything I'm doing, I'm thinking about, it's about getting a step closer to being able to be with them how I want to be with them, and the way that I envision being with them, and being the father that I want to be to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is the most important thing to me ever, is that. You know what I'm saying?
I saw my man Tank had a question.
Yes, sir.
Fire off.
Okay, so I got 2 questions. The first one was, when you was younger, going through the stuff you was going through with your stepdad, was it hard for you to tell your mom the problems that you was facing with another man that isn't your father? And how did that make you feel about today, like knowing if your kids had a stepdad and they was possibly going through the same thing? Like, how would that make you feel as of right now, when you was younger, going through the things you was going through? And then my second question was, when you was homeless trying to make your music.
Can he answer that one first?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I got you. So to be honest with you, my mom didn't really, like, she knew certain things, but to be honest with you, a lot of it she really didn't know, to be honest with you. So, and I can speak of kind of the last times, if you will, before he really moved out and moved on. Like, there was a situation or whatnot, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I went and I grabbed the knife, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? This is probably like, I think I was like going to 6th grade or something like that. I was going to the 6th grade. I went and got the knife, like, yo, my mom, whatever. She, she telling me to stop. He telling me to stop, whatever. Get off of him, whatever. He chill and leave, and then kind of like a little bit of time passed. You know what I'm saying? Think the situation kind of like just died down, whatever. And so one time she left the crib, and I was like, I'm gonna stay home. I'm gonna just go ahead and stay home. You know what I'm saying? He home too. I ain't worried. I'm like, I'm gonna stay home. It's all good, man. And this was, like I said, we ain't had no remote for our TV back at during this time. So I was sitting down, right? You know what I'm saying? I was sitting down in front of the TV, you know what I'm saying? Turning the joint, and all I remember, man, he came and grabbed me and like pulled me, like jacked me up, like, yo, you gonna pull a knife on me? Like this and that and the third. And like he had the knife in his hand, like, yo, don't you ever pull a knife on me? He like, you know what I'm saying? Like did like that or whatever the case may be, like he was gonna stab me. And you know what I'm saying? I never told my mom about it. I never told her about it. He actually ended up telling her about it. And that was really kind of like the last straw, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, before he really like moved on and you know what I'm saying, got out of the house. Because and that was like the whole thing throughout all of that, those times and all of the things that was going on. As I said, I was sharing with y'all probably some stuff that I never really even shared with anybody like that, because I just never really talked to anybody about it like that. It's like, you know what I'm saying, I just kind of put it behind me. I'm talking about bank robberies, you know what I'm saying? And excuse me, I don't want to say it too much, but I mean, these are type of things. It was definitely stuff that was going on all the way up, like I said, till like 6th, 7th grade, that it was just like, you know, man, you know, I hated my life to an extent. You know what I'm saying? I hated being home anyway. I ain't say I hated my life, but I definitely hated being home, and it was a challenge, you know what I'm saying, in that sense. But I don't know. I just yeah, I don't know, man. I'm thankful that I guess I had a strong grandmother that raised me well. We, you know, it was strong family wise, so I think that probably was the biggest personal thing for me. But outside of that, yeah, that was hard. What was the second question?
Hold on. Did that make you stronger, like as a youngin?
Yeah, I think so. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it as that initially. I would say that. I think it took me acknowledging it, you know what I'm saying, and acknowledging myself and acknowledging kind of like just what was going on, that like it was okay, like that's beyond me. I think initially it probably made me a little apprehensive. You know what I'm saying? It made me a little bit like reserved. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, like I was just reserved. Like I was kind of more quiet. It made me more quiet and shy. You know what I'm saying? To an extent, but you know what I'm saying? Like I said, but I still put myself out there, still did stuff or whatever the case may be. I never really let it like stop me per se, but just it definitely affected me. I definitely say it affected me mentally and just what I believed about myself and just kind of, I don't know, because my mother, you know, she did the best she could, but I pretty, you know, she was caught up in her own stuff. She was traumatized herself. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this was domestic abuse and all that stuff. Like, I mean, it's deep. Like I could go really deep into that, you know what I'm saying, stuff. But at the end of the day, she was affected too. You know what I'm saying? So our relationship was actually strained during that time because initially it felt like, why would you choose him? You know what I'm saying? Why would you keep choosing him? You know what I'm saying? And allowing it to almost happen almost. And then getting to a point to where once it was kind of over, she still had those residual emotions and feeling herself. So, and then I was, you know, starting to be a teenager. So I was, you know, pushing buttons and if you will, to an extent myself. So, you know, we kind of like, we was going at it pretty much all the way till I, you know what I'm saying, till I graduated. And even a little bit after that. I mean, like I said, I got kicked out 2 days after graduation. So, you know what I mean? And it took a while, man, to find myself.
Yeah.
All right, and then my second question was, what deep down in you when you was homeless as a teenager and becoming an adult, when you was homeless in like Atlanta, Virginia, trying to do your music thing, what made you grind harder? What made you believe that your music was gonna be what got you far? Like, what were you telling yourself that other people nowadays aren't telling themselves, that they're homeless and that they're not pushing themselves to be better? What were you telling yourself to get through those hard times and the hard grinds that you had to encounter?
I mean, you know, I think in the moments, in them situations, you definitely tell yourself, I mean, if you want to make it out, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'm gonna push, I'm gonna make it out, I'm gonna do whatever it is that I need to do in terms of striving to make it out. And I think, and that's probably something that has been with me all the time. Like, I just believed, like, you know what I'm saying, in that if I did what I was supposed to do, you know what I'm saying, if I put forth the effort, you know what I'm saying, like something good is gonna come at the end of the day. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, if I'm putting forth the effort, if I'm, you know what I'm saying, like something good is gonna happen. And like I said, in the course of all those things, like I met Nori, you know what I'm saying? I met Nori in the mall on some, you know what I'm saying, humble shit, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, like I had it, as I think about it and I reflect back on it, it's like, man, I went through all this stuff and all that stuff happened, but man, I met and seen a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And been a lot of places, and you know, obviously nobody wants to be homeless or anything like that. But I think it's different when you are somewhat doing it intentionally, you know what I'm saying, to an extent, versus you being evicted, you know what I mean, you being put out of a place, and you know what I mean, or the fact that you are put out of that place and you just take it and run with it, like, yo, I gotta make it happen. I gotta do something. I take care of myself.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We had another question. Look like somebody else joining. You muted, bro.
Oh, bro.
Okay. But so yeah, man, you know, and it's still, again, still was a process. It's been really like an unfolding, you know, if you will, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, because you know, you get to a certain point, you think you know everything, you think you got it all figured out, and then it's like, boom, all right, the next level. It's all not so much starting all over, but you know, when you reach certain age, you do certain things, and you learn and you acquire certain knowledge, that kind of shapes your philosophy and your view on life, right? And that's how you roll. And then you start getting more knowledge, you learn more things, and you're like, all right, wait a minute, that was actually, not that it was wrong, but now I know more. So I have to kind of adjust, you know what I'm saying, my thought process or how I think about, you know what I'm saying, even that. And so it's been a real, I think I've embraced life as more of a challenge, and it's more of a learning opportunity, and being serious about knowledge and knowing, right? Because as they say, you know, in the Bible, people perish for lack of knowledge. And for a lot of us, we don't value knowledge and learning and studying or knowing things, because we feel, one, we feel like we know it all, or two, we feel like it ain't valuable to us to know things. But at the end of the day, without knowledge and without skills, what are you really able to accomplish? You know what I mean? And I would say, you know, what is it that you really want to do with your life? Because based on what you really want to do with your life determines the knowledge that you need and what you need to do in order to accomplish it, right? If you know that you want to be a doctor, right? There's certain things that you know you're going to have to do. You're going to have to study for a certain amount of time. You're going to be in school a little bit longer than, you know, the regular folks, right? Because you choose to be a doctor. And then there comes residency with that, where you actually got to go practice and get your skills up, right? You know what I'm saying? That's that path. That doesn't mean that that's your path. That's that path. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, and why I say be the author of your own story, is the path that we on a lot of times is something that we are on because we believe it's going to make somebody else happy, or it's what somebody else wants. You know what I mean? Or that we can get what we want by doing something somebody else wants. You know what I mean? And or believing all of the things that they say about us, particularly as Black men, right? The stuff that they say about us, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we just ignorant, and all we do is kill each other, and you know what I'm saying? We don't take care of our women, and we don't take care of our babies, and you know what I'm saying? All of those negative stereotypes that they have about Black men. You know what I'm saying? Because as a young man, that affects you, because you're looking at your future self and you're like, I don't even want to be a Black man if, you know what I'm saying, I got to deal with that crap. You know what I'm saying? I might as well just, you know, figure out what I can do on my own. But at the end of the day, we all connected, young brothers. We all connected in this, and we all we got. Because you best believe women got their stuff together, and they working together. You know what I'm saying? So this type of stuff is important for us as men to be able to have these conversations too, because this is where we get our support. This is where we get our confidence. This is where we able to take, you know what I'm saying, what we know and what we, you know what I'm saying, are learning in this world, and be able to apply it and or get more knowledge and wisdom for people that have gone through stuff either similar to us or things that, you know, that they went to where they have something special to share. And you know, at the end of the day, it's about figuring out what's your why. Like, why do you do what you do? Like, why do you do it? Why do you want to do it? What do you want to do with your life? That's like the biggest thing. And I think that was the thing for me. Like, I was really just kind of like floating, like even though I was studying, I had certain knowledge on things, and you know, like I said, I was doing certain things. It was still like I was still figuring it out. And even to this day, like, I feel like I've definitely come a long way, and I'm a lot further than what I was. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, right now, I'm a business owner, right? This logo you see on my hat, the stuff you see on my shirt, you know what I'm saying? This is my organization, and that's what I do. I walked away from 2 jobs from this, actually. I walked away from jobs twice, you know, to pursue my own thing, because to me, that's that thing. I don't want no ceiling. Nobody to tell me when to come, when to go. All I can make is this amount. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to this event with my children if this come up, you know what I'm saying? And just being told what to do, you know what I mean? So I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur or business owner, whatever the case may be. And not only that,
before you keep going, brother Paz,
yes, sir.
I saw my man KC had a question.
Yes, sir.
Fire off, KC.
What's going on, family?
What's up, big brother?
Hey, man, it's good to see you, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know, you alluded to earlier about, you know, the power of, you know, us young men or men in general sticking together, because women definitely, you know, are doing a better job of that than us. Can you speak a little bit about just the power of that? Like, what does it mean for men to stick together? What does it mean for brothers to come together? Because we know that there's power in that, and kind of talk about like how that looks, how that works, how that feels. And then once we come together, what can we accomplish once we all come together as men?
Yes, sir. I mean, at the end of the day, who can speak for a man but another man? You know, right? We can't let nobody can tell a man how to be a man. You know what I mean? Like we can definitely take the advice and take the constructive criticisms and take, you know, whatever, and from an energetic standpoint, the female or the woman definitely balances us out. But we still have to be responsible for ourselves as men and the collective of men, so that as men go through life and go through their trials and tribulations, we don't feel isolated. We don't feel like we alone and you know, don't have any support for our struggles. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we struggle too, which people don't want to acknowledge that we struggle. It's like, you know, be a man, be strong, you don't cry, you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, we struggle just like anybody else, you know? And I think it's important to be able to have that safe space, you know what I'm saying, for us as men, and being able to speak as men, and being able to, you know what I'm saying, just interact as men. Because a lot of times when you're talking to women, they like to try to talk to you as a man, but then when you talk to them back as a man, it's like, oh, hold on now, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a woman. Well, wait a minute. Don't try to talk to me like a man then. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that disrespectfully in no way whatsoever, because obviously we dealing with respect for women. But in terms of just how we deal with each other, I think it's important for us to have that voice and be able to have that space to voice ourselves and our opinions and our thoughts, you know what I'm saying, in a free way, but but also be held accountable by other men, you know, ideally older and younger than us, right? That can teach us things that we are going through, and that we can also teach others that are preparing to go through it as well. So really building that support system, because at the end of the day, we living in a world of white supremacy, and we got. So the help that we looking for, whatever it is that we looking for to save us, we looking at it. We looking at it when we look at each other. We looking at our saviors.
That's what's up. Right on, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You know, and before you keep going too, you know, I want to ask you the same question I had asked my man KC. You know, yesterday with the work that we doing, you know, and the impact that we're making, the relationships that we're building. When you have a youth that you lose, you know, due to gang violence, due to any kind of violence, this youth life get taken. How do you deal with that loss? How do you deal with it?
Man, you know, I mean, it's I think it's a hard thing to deal with, period. I don't know if there's a right answer to it. It's just, you know, it's a hard thing, right? You know what I mean? I think it starts to become a thing where it's about the value of life and how you value and see, you know, your life, how you see other people's lives and all of that. And then, you know, as you said, for us being in the work and kind of, I don't know, you know, we deal with it almost on a too regular of a basis, you know what I'm saying? Where even we having to deal with losses of people in our programs and people that we know and connected to throughout the community and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, man, it makes you go harder. it just makes you want to go harder. You know, it makes you focus on what's really important, because even in this time that we're dealing with, I'm still hearing stuff like people are still out here doing the most. You know what I'm saying? And you think like this would be a time where everybody's more like kind of chill and not doing stuff like that, or at least focus on us being unified, you know what I'm saying, and having, you know what I'm saying, a love for one another and like that. But at the end of the day, we still out here killing each other. We still out here killing each other. So it's really, you know, it keeps you in a perspective every day. Like you said, when you walk out the door, man, we at war with everything that's outside our door. So when we outside, it's wartime. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be watching. We ducking bullets. We watching. You know what I'm saying? Literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? Because you know there's things being said and being done. You know what I'm saying? As well as, you know what I'm saying, the actual bullets themselves flying too. And so really making sure that we take care of ourselves, especially, you know what I'm saying, for us just being involved with the work, it's draining. It could be draining. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot out of you. It's emotional, especially the closer you are to stuff and the more you're connected to stuff. It just, you know, it's like a never ending thing. It's like we, you know, we connected so many different people. You know what I'm saying? It's like for us, it's even more so. Like we have to really be mindful to take care of ourselves, because that in and of itself is what makes us successful, being able to take care of ourselves.
So we're wrapping up. Looking at, you know, there's one thing that you still haven't mentioned that you know I had throughout there earlier. You know what I mean? You haven't said too much about AOP.
Man, again, one of those life-changing moments.
You know, it's crazy because you today said you walked away from 2 jobs to pursue what you're doing. And my man KC, he said he walked away from a $80,000 paying gig with full benefits, all that stuff, to pursue what he's doing. You know what I mean? There's magic behind this right here. Go ahead and talk to him about AOP, man.
Yeah, man. So.
And can we get a demonstration too?
I mean, if I not in this space right here. I can't really do it in this right here in this space. You know, it's crazy, man, because you know everything happens for a reason. You don't always see it at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But things happen for a reason. In any case, at this particular point, I had just got in a car accident. My bro was just leaving. He was moving from South Carolina, moving from Colorado. And I don't know if y'all remember or familiar at all or heard at all. There was a time where we was doing drum circles in the park every Sunday for some years. That we was doing drum circles, and it was, you know, it was doing all right. Like I said, but my bro was leaving. I got in a car accident. Ronnie and another partner had just started coming out. You know what I'm saying? And that's really how we connected and started building and just started talking, and we started infusing. Ronnie was doing some wellness stuff then and started infusing it into the drum circle. And that's really what kind of like started to take off a little bit, because people was like, it was feeling like the drums and the wellness, and you know, we had food every week. So it was like a big kind of like community little affair. And so Ronnie had shared with me, you know, I got to give my guy credit, man. He always had he definitely got a mind for it to do business, you know, in terms of wanting to do it, because when I met him, he had like a couple business plans for stuff like, man, I want to do this, you know, Ronnie, he's, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do this, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we wrap it up, you know, we would rap and just chop it up. And then, you know, I was actually more into yoga at that point, you know what I'm saying? I still got a book I took from my high school library, that from my yoga stuff. So you know what I mean? And that was really my thing, and that was kind of like our connection too. And it was like, for me, it was like, man, I got another brother that do this. Like, it was like, oh man, it's on, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, you know, I did yoga, you know what I mean? Like KC, you know what I'm saying? I had the corporate job and all that stuff. And so, you know, they had the little gym, they would have little classes. I did the little yoga classes and stuff like that. But you know, as we see it as advertised, most of the time is what? White people, you know what I'm saying? So that was my mindset, like, all right, I ain't gonna let nobody know I'm doing this or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? I'll just do my thing, and that's what it was. So it was just like, you know, when he mentioned it and was like serious about it, it was like, oh man, let's do this shit, bro. And just he shared also that he had this manuscript that he was working on called The Apprentice of Peace. an uncommon dialogue, and it was just like from there, it was like, all right, man, let's build it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I love the name. We could take it and, you know, incorporate the wellness, you know, with the book, you know what I'm saying? Because the book was more about common sense and social responsibility. And it was like we just kind of merged it all together into, you know, trying to create this movement. And we both we started learning Tai Chi from this one instructor initially, Merle Thompson, dope guy. He's my guy, man. And then we also went through a 5-year medical Qigong course. So we actually, you know what I'm saying, studied medical Qigong for 5 years, and, you know what I'm saying, incorporated that into the work that we was doing. And eventually it went from the parks to getting into schools, and, you know what I'm saying, just kind of growing from there. But we always had the idea, like, we wanted to, you know, have like programming and be able to teach, you know, the Tai Chi initially. We wanted to, you know, have our little shirts or whatnot, and you know, have the book. And it just kind of just has been building, growing into so many dope partnerships. And man, just like today with everybody, you know, even, you know, some of y'all on here today, like we, you know, we're partners behind the scenes, you know, not behind the scenes, but, you know, we partners in this too. And there's just so many dope relationships, so many dope opportunities. You know, I'm honestly thankful. Like I was trying to tell the young man earlier, like we got the opportunity to make a real business, you know what I'm saying, out of this. And I did. I walked away from a $70,000 job with benefits. And the crazy thing was, I actually, on this last one, that second one, I actually negotiated more money and the ability to work from home and everything. And they was like, so we thought you were still gonna work 40 hours. I was like, no, I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what? They gave me a computer and everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you know, I just had felt at that time, like, if I really wanted to take AOP to the next level, or, you know, do what we need to do as far as that, I had to quit my job. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, it was a struggle. You know what I'm saying? It was a challenge. I'm not saying it was a struggle. It was a challenge. You know what I'm saying? In terms of really trying to, and I think this was kind of similar to the time, Casey, when we were starting to connect and all that. I got my car repoed. Like, there was a lot of stuff that was, you know what I'm saying, that really went on behind the scenes. Like, nobody want to talk about the failures. Everybody want to talk about the success. But man, there was a lot of stuff that went on along the way, and it was just like, just keep pushing. I just kept believing, like, man, we gonna make it. Like, it's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? And I just, like, you know what I mean, that's just been my thing. I think that's been the biggest thing, like the most positive thing, if you will, about me, is that I'm gonna keep believing. I'm gonna keep pushing, trying to figure it out.
Right now, if nobody caught anything that you had said this whole time, you know, if we had spaced out all throughout this whole time you were speaking, if there's one message that you can leave us with, there's one, what would it be? What would you leave us with?
I think, as the theme said, man, be the author of your own story. Like, write your story. Nobody has to write your story for you. Like, we are, as they say, spiritual beings having a human experience, right? And a divine, or whatever we want to call it, is abundant. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing, no deficits, no nothing. It is fully abundant and aware and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just realizing that we are a part of it. It's in us, and that we can tap into it and manifest greatness. We got greatness in us that we got to pull out. You know what I'm saying? We got to pull out the greatness, because everything that we see comes from the mind. You know, everything that we see that's made and created, the chair, the whatever, everything that we see, it was a thought in somebody's mind first to say, this is what I want. You know what I mean? And here's how it looks, at least in my mind, at least. And I'm going to try to bring it out into physical reality. So we need to let's bring out that greatness that's in us into physical reality.
Any other questions? Comments? Compliments?
It's great to hear you.
Yes, sir. Respect, brother. Thank you.
That's right.
That was a great story. I really appreciate you sharing your time with us. Your struggles and what you did to motivate yourself to be where you are today.
Right.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
That's indeed, Paz. You know, I sure do appreciate you coming through, man, and sharing your story. You know,
Yes, sir, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for the platform. Hey, bro, this is dope, man. This is real dope, man. For real, for real.
It is.
Right on.
Super dope.
Good to see you, Paz. JC, everybody feel that logo in the background? You got to teach me how to do that.
Hey,
Love y'all, man.
I just sit here in the chair. You know what I mean? Just sitting in the chair.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, good to see
It's
you,
all
Gerald.
love.
Right on, Paz.
All right, y'all. Be good, man.
All
Thank
right,
you.
family. All right,
Yes,
stay up.
sir. Yes,
Love y'all.
sir. Royalty.
I check in with y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Hey, Phil, I'm going to send you an idea from like Colorado Health Foundation. It's some of the network kind of stuff that comes out, you know, that I think, you know, definitely seeing KC, seeing